says you gotta wait for permission to do whatever the hell you want, huh? So around this time last year, I was gung-ho about getting this YouTube channel off the ground. But as I started to do that, what I quickly realized is that my ambition was vastly misplaced. You see, as an actor, we kind of have to be on social media these days. A lot of us don't want to be, but we have to be. We have to at least make an effort to try and build a followings through Instagram, YouTube, and in some cases, TikTok. Instagram is still king in my industry, but numbers elsewhere never hurt in the casting process. When it comes to social media, especially these days, you have to pick a niche. You can't just be doing whatever content you want and just throwing stuff at the wall hoping that it sticks. So yeah, I'm an actor, but I gotta admit, most acting content doesn't resonate with me, and it doesn't inspire me to want to create that style of content. As someone who has been making content since 2009, I can tell you with every ounce of my being, never make content for something that you don't enjoy. You will lose your mind in the process. And on that note of making content I enjoy, I do want to say thank you to everybody who has been enjoying the gaming content I've been releasing on here. Gaming is not necessarily a niche that I'm aiming for. That particular content is really more something that I just enjoy doing in my downtime, and I figured it'd be a way of all of you to get to know me a little bit better. So if I didn't want to make acting content and gaming was not a primary target of mine, I decided to go with a niche that has been very near and dear to my heart since I was 4 years old, and that is professional wrestling. I know there's not much background action going on in the last third of this shot, but if those of you are paying attention, we do have William Regal watching over our shoulder. Aside from growing up and absolutely loving everything involved with professional wrestling, I was active in ring from 2014 to 2017, but as someone who is 5'7" and struggles to gain size, that did not last long. You see, when I was struggling to stay healthy, battling in-ring injuries, as well as making terrible life choices outside of the ring, I was pulled aside by my head trainer, and they said to me verbatim, "Why can't you be 6 inches taller and 50 pounds heavier?" Now, at first, I'll admit, that hard truth kind of stung, but I still understood where my trainers were coming from, so I kept an open mind, and we pretty much looked at other areas for me in the business, and from that day, I have done just about everything professional wrestling has to offer. I have been a referee, I've been an on-camera talent, I've been the guy that does the backstage interviews, I've been a ring manager, which, oh my god, that is so much fun. I've also been on commentary teams as well as ring announcing, and I gotta admit, ring announcing ended up being an incredible blessing and actually took me pretty far in the business. At one point, I was working live shows for Ring of Honor's old developmental system, Future of Honor, when they were operating live shows outside of Philadelphia at the old world-famous Monster Factory. Now, even though I got to have a lot of fun on the road as a ring announcer, I met so many incredible people in the business, but I just didn't have the passion for it in here. And I am a very big believer that if you don't have passion for what you're doing, you are wasting yours and everybody else's time. So now, if you're hearing all of this and you're wondering to yourself, like, oh my god, you wrestled? Were you any good? Fuck no, I wasn't. I was athletic and I could talk, but when it came time to in-ring and match psychology, bro, I turned into the ant from that opening scene of Bug's Life. Oh no. I'm lost! What's wild, though, is something that I definitely didn't see coming, is as I started creating and producing the pro wrestling content here for the channel, I immediately realized, like, yo, I just miss being around pro wrestling. So instead of focusing on making pro wrestling content, I did some real-world shit and got back to my old schedule over at Showcase Pro Wrestling Training Center in Woonsocket, Rhode Island, and it has been a blast being back around the sport over the last year. My character started off late last year as just a simple representative for the company, but since the turn of the year into 2026, I have now been named as the company's commissioner and am involved in just about every storyline the company has going to some degree. The biggest storyline being, of course, the company's mainstay angle, which involves John Cena Sr., and I just gotta say, it has been an honor working with the father of a GOAT. John Cena Sr. tried to pull off himself a bit of a hostile takeover of Showcase Pro Wrestling, and has recently been revealed that my character played a major role in regaining control of the company. Now, whether or not my tactics were fair and justified, that's completely up to the fans. And now, before I go any further, if you are listening to all of this right now and feeling some emotion coming up to where you have to jump in the comments and say something like, "Kayfabe is dead," please shut up. We are living in a significantly different age of professional wrestling nowadays, and for me, I would much rather be connected with what's known as a smart mark than some couch schmuck who doesn't understand what they're watching and has takes worse than JD from New York. So now that you're all caught up to speed, here is the latest promo, and if you're ever in in the Rhode Island and Massachusetts area, be sure to come on out to a Showcase Pro Wrestling show and come see about the commissioner sometime. Hope you guys enjoy the promo. Hello, hello, hello. Now, production, leave that graphic on screen for just a little bit longer, will you? I want everybody to get a real good look at that. SPW Commissioner. Now, doesn't that sound beautiful? Are you getting it yet? Are you finally starting to understand? Are you all finally seeing the beautiful imagery for the future of Showcase that I have been painting? Because I saw a Showcase without John Cena Sr., and now that old man is even older news. We have liquidated every single thing that his formaldehyde-ridden stench came into contact with, so it's good riddance and on to new beginnings. My first order of business as your Showcase Pro Wrestling Commissioner, because make no mistake about it, I am your Showcase Pro Wrestling Commissioner, whether you like it or not. My first order of business, let's find this missing YouTube title, shall we? And I'm happy to announce the following names have been cleared from all involvement in this missing championship matter. Roger Williams, Jay Evans, Brother Moonrevan, Matt Michelson, AZ, the tag champion Superstack, and all members of the Puerto Rican Kill Crew have been cleared. Now, obviously, I have plenty more of the roster to go through and interrogate. Some of those names would include Aiden the Astonishing, our #1 contender for the YouTube title, D-Rex, and of course, the YouTube conspirian himself, Shia Shabo. But I gotta admit, I'm a little entertained and amused by this apparent self-appointed sit-down between D-Rex and Shia Shabo. As the one who makes the decisions, I'm gonna hold off on clearing their names, and let's see how all of this plays out before it goes any further. Thanks for the laugh, boys. I appreciate it, because I needed a laugh this week, because that segues me into my next order of business, and that's addressing all of you, the fans of Showcase. You see, I have to admit, I believe that we did get off on a wrong foot at our last live event in Woonsocket, but luckily, we have this Saturday night in Woonsocket at the SPW Arena with a bell time of 7:07 p.m., where I can address you all personally on the matter, and we can talk about it face to face. But right now, there is a few people that I want to address, and that's all of you trying to say, why him? Why Derek Kaufman Moore? Why is he named as the commissioner? Why not? This really proves my point to what I was saying at the last live event, that so many of you don't pay attention to what actually happens here in Showcase. I am the only talent qualified for this. I am the only talent in Showcase that can go from unknown to untouchable. I am the only talent from Showcase that has gone on television screens all across the globe on Netflix, NBC, Showtime, Lifetime, Paramount Plus, Roku Channel, Vice TV, and Prime, all in 1 year. Nobody on the independents can make the claims that I can make. And that is because what you see here, it's not some character, okay? This is not a work. This is not some gimmick I had to create to make all of you believe that I am something I am not. I am exactly what I say I am. Simply something more. I will not rest until everybody knows that Showcase is just as much of a proving grounds and a prime destination for professional wrestling as anywhere else, because now Showcase goes with something a whole lot more and then some. Derek Kaufman Moore. Thank you very much.